Good evening and welcome to Raider News. My name is Rachel Kostrina.
And my name is Darius Keela. The Jackson County Board of Commissioners declared a local disaster due to drought conditions on May 13th. 9 days later, Oregon Governor Kate Brown granted the request and along with 14 other counties declared a drought emergency. Reporter Kevin Goff has more on the impact of the drought on Jackson County.
The 15 counties in a drought emergency is up from 9 last year. It is estimated that 1.5 million Oregonians are currently affected by the drought, which has been exacerbated by the 3 consecutive years of low snowpack and higher than normal temperatures. Local residents are expressing their concern.
So I guess that's what I'm mostly seeing is it's going to be so dry here pretty quick that things are going to change. So people really need to be conserving as much as they can.
Having the drought recognized statewide means that more water can be pulled out of the Rogue River. The county could reallocate resources and could tap into more groundwater. Oregon Department of Forestry spokesman Brian Ballou stressed the need for preparation as the summer months approach. The fire activity, particularly in July and August and the early part of fall, will be high. California residents know all too well the effects of the drought.
And one thing that I do is I and my husband, when we take showers, we have a bucket in the shower and we take it down to water our plants.
In Ashland, Kevin Goff, Raider News.
Thanks, Kevin. Even though we have been seeing heavy rains recently, the lack of snowpack will have a bigger impact on fires and drought conditions. We're hoping for the best. The operators of Mount Ashland plan to do summer activities besides solely operating in the winter, and 3 months ago they submitted a proposal to the U.S. Forest Services. This proposal includes a zip line, disc golf, bungee jumping, rock climbing, slack lines, and more. In order to do this, Mount Ashland has to go through U.S. Forest Service's scoping process. Currently, the scoping process is in a public comment period about the proposal, though only for the zip line and disc golf. Michael Stringer, Development Director at Mount Ashland, believes these activities will draw in more visitors.
The idea that we're trying to pursue is that a number of folks come up in the summertime already to visit the ski area, to go hiking on the Pacific Crest Trail, or to hike to the top of Mount Ashland, or to do an adventure race like the Siskiyou Outback or the Mount Ashland Hill Climb. And we really felt like we could cater to some of those visitors as well as draw additional visitors by offering these services.
The scoping process won't be complete until July 1st, which is late in the season to start activities, so Mount Ashland pushed back plans 10 months. If the process is successful, these activities could be seen up at Mount Ashland in May 2016.
With only 2 weeks left until graduation here at SOU, the graduating class of 2015 is preparing for their graduation and life after college. Mila Grimova has more.
Learning for finals, spending as much time as possible with friends, and planning the future. This is the typical life of a soon-to-be graduate during the last 2 weeks of the school year. We spoke to 3 seniors about their most memorable moments of their college life and what they are planning to do after their graduation.
My name is Jose Espinoza. My major is business administration.
I'm Nina Wooten, and I'm a business major.
My name is Patrick Gonzalez, and I'm a communications major here at SOU.
My most memorable moment in my college life was all the friends that I got to make within the 5 years that I spent as a college student.
One of the most memorable moments was my time with the Hawaii Club and the big performance during the luau.
I definitely had a lot of memorable moments here. I think one of my favorites is the events that they put on in the dorms.
What I'm planning to do after graduation is to take a year off, get some work experience in the business field, and then pursue my master's in international business.
I'm going to do an internship in Spain starting August 2015 till January 2016.
I definitely want to stay in the area. I fell in love with Ashland and the Rogue Valley ever since I got here, and I really don't want to leave it, so I would love to find a job here.
The SOU graduation will be held on June 12th at the Raider Stadium, where family, friends, professors, and visitors can support the graduates as they walk the stage and enter their next stage of life. In Ashland, Mila Gromova, Raider News.
The 56th annual Boatnik in Grants Pass kicked off over Memorial Day weekend and continued for 5 days. There was a parade, fireworks, a 5K run, and boat races. Carnival rides were provided for $2 per ride. Several food booths were available, including fry bread and an old-fashioned soda booth, and many others. A beer garden was also provided. The annual Boatnik Festival began in 1959.
This week, there will be over 3 dozen performing art acts at SOU. From May 31st to June 5th, the Oregon Fringe Festival hits SOU. Self-described fringe art acts will perform throughout the entire SOU campus and a few different locations in Ashland. Acts range from poetry to theatrical pieces, all made with the intention of promoting the unconventional sides of art. This is the second Fringe Festival at SU and is becoming an annual tradition. Some performers and organizers are excited about this week's events.
Go to Fringe with an open mind. Go expecting to see things that you won't necessarily understand, and you may not even like every event that you see, but the point is to broaden your horizons and take in new experiences.
All of this week's events are free. For a full schedule of events, check out OregonFringeFestival.org.
On May 19th, Southern Oregon University held a free event in the Stevenson Union Rogue River Room called Elephant in the Room. It was an open forum which touched on the topics of how pornography leads to objectification, desensitization towards victims of sexual violence, and desensitization towards physical intimacy. The tagline for the event reads, "A critical analysis of pop culture porn from a sex-positive, personal empowerment, and human right lens." Speaker Matt Vogel and Amy Collins created a safe environment by not coming from a perspective of shame, fear, or moralism. Big thanks to the Women's Resource Center for organizing such a positive and self-empowering event.
Hagan opened their doors last month and replacing the store that Safeway once used to be at Siskiyou Boulevard. Some are wondering about the new prices of the new store. Raider News' Angie Eckery investigates more.
Hagan began in Bellingham in 1933 and has now expanded throughout the Northwest. They say they are proud to support local farmers and that fresh and local is their passion. We went to several grocery stores in the Ashland area to compare prices of 5 basic items. We found that overall, Hagan has the better bargain on items such as laundry soap and toilet paper. A half gallon of milk from Hagan was found to be right around the same price as the other stores, with the average difference being 14 cents. Mike Brady told us that due to dietary restrictions, he shops where he can find items that best suit his needs.
Certain stores have certain items. Each store has a deal going on each week, and so it doesn't really matter which store I'm going to go to. I'm going to end up spending the same amount.
I've been here a couple times. It's kind of more expensive. Definitely more expensive than Safeway was.
When compared to other local grocery stores, Hagan ranked second highest, along with Market of Choice, in terms of total price for the 5 items.
For convenience purposes, if I'm tired, I'll just come to Albertsons or I guess now Hagan.
I'm Angie Arcuri, Raider News.
On May 19th, an SOU student, Johanna Boyd, had an open house event at the Center for Sustainability to present her capstone project.
My name is Johanna Boyd, and this is my Bachelor of Fine Arts opening. So I started volunteering at the center in summer 2014, and I fell in love with the physical farm work and being out here and being part of the cultivation and helping to make this farm grow. And the manager at the time asked if I'd be interested in making a sculpture, and so I just started thinking about this place and what it means to me, and it's been a shelter for me, and so I wanted to create a shelter for them. I wanted to work with metal and a durable material that would last out here for a while and contrast the natural growth with this industrial material. And I was thinking about irrigation pipe and the use and need for irrigation in agriculture. And so each of those steel rings are cut down from steel pipe and welded together. I met a lot of people and had to do a lot of outreach and go outside my comfort zone. A welder in town, Jason Hutchins, helped me make this piece, so just meeting people in the community and working with different people and applying for a grant. I applied for a grant with the Southern Oregon University Green Fund, and they gave me money for materials, and just working with an organization outside of SOU and the art department, I think is a good step into the community. And so this is the first artwork at the center, and I hope that it encourages other artists to come out here and respond to this natural environment and make work out here.
Coming up later in Raider News, we'll have sports with Gianna.
But now we take to Raider News reporter Alexander Massa for an interview with Southern Oregon University's president, Dr. Roy Saigo.
Hello, welcome to Raider News. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming my guest, Roy Saigo, the president of Southern Oregon University. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Alex, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so
what a pleasure.
First off, I want to ask you the question that's on everyone's minds right now. As the president of SOU and a member of the Board of Trustees, what's your position on the recent decision to increase tuition 5%?
Well, it seems like this was done way before, and the students apparently were consulted and had a choice between 3% and 5%, and the students requested that we go with 5%.
So, in your opinion, that was the right decision to make?
Well, there's a lot of unusual circumstances right now, Alex, because we have a lot of union decisions to be made. Costs continue to go up. We have to negotiate salaries. And so I think the students were wise in recommending 5%. Although we want to keep costs of tuition down, the cost of living, cost of new contracts, cost of healthcare continually goes up. So the students had, rather than going for 3%, recommended the board go with 5%.
And you agreed with that recommendation?
Yeah, because it was brought forward by students, and I had a lot of study done behind it.
On the issue of creating transparency for these boards, there has not been radio broadcast or television broadcast on these stations. Do you plan on in the future doing anything to make the proceedings that happen in the meetings more?
That can certainly be done, Alex, and we do announce previous to having any meetings that public information goes out before we have the meetings. And people also have an opportunity to sign up to make comments to the board, even the subcommittees. And so absolutely, it's going to be more transparent, it's going to be more accessible. I think the local newspapers and the local TV stations will certainly be interested in the decisions that the local boards make.
As I understand, though, so far, most of the meetings have been pretty much in the middle of a workday. Do you plan on doing anything to make it easier for most people to be able to attend?
Yeah, and again, we're trying to do what we can for the moment, but they are not seated and empowered until July 1st.
What are you doing currently to help increase student retention and graduation rates for SOU students?
Well, previous we were evaluated and funded by enrollment, head count. Because of the new criteria set forth by the Higher Education Coordinating Commission, that we're going to be evaluated on retention and graduation rates. And so we have proposals that are being funded now as we speak to support student enhancement, student success, and student graduation. And we also know that I met a number of peak students here that jobs on campus is the #1 criterion for retention and graduation. The second of all things would be athletics. And so these are issues that are starting to come up, and we also today even had a report on a 30-person bridge program that we're evaluating as far as costs and cost benefits for students who are coming in as freshmen. So all along from departments to first-year experience to support by advisors and counseling service are being activated to enhance the chance for students to be successful. Absolutely.
And that was SOU President Roy Saigo. Thank you for coming today.
Alex, thank you. I appreciate it. And I really enjoyed being here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Women's rugby team just finished its second year of being an official club here at SOU. And to kick off their spring season, they started with the annual prom dress match on May 30th, which took place at the intramural field with an attendance of 102 Ashland Rugby fans. The event was a success. The rugby roster currently has 26 Southern Oregon girls participating with plenty of room for new recruits. The women's rugby allows the girls to challenge themselves while also building self-confidence. If you are interested in joining the women's rugby team, you can find out more information on the SOU webpage. And Raider Days continue as students soak up the sun at Immigrant Lake this weekend at May 30th for their annual Floatopia event.
SOU Student Life hosted its second annual Floatopia Lake Party on Saturday. Students got the chance to enjoy a day at Immigrant Lake for a day of water slides, floating, swimming, and other activities.
Floatopia is a tradition on campus. It's part of a larger week of events called Raider Days. And Raider Days are our spring event, showcase of events where different student groups on campus collaborate and give us a week of programming that has to do with spring and celebrating the season and stress relief and all that kind of thing, and celebrating our successes for the year.
Free food was served from 12 until 2, and free water slide tickets were given to the first 100 people to arrive. A bus was also provided to shuttle students to and from the Hawk Dining Center. In Ashland, Ben Harrison, Raider News.
Always a good time when you get the students together off campus. Well, I'm Gianna Camarota with Raider News. Back to you guys in the studio.
That is it for this evening. My name is Darius Keela.
And I'm Rachel Kostrina.
On behalf of everyone here at Raider News, thank you for tuning in with us tonight, and have a good night, Ashland.